ご記憶でしょうか。今年1月、南太平洋トンガ沖で起きた海底火山の爆発的噴火の瞬間を宇宙から捉えたあの衛星写真。あの大規模噴火と大津波被害から間もなく半年を迎えます。今日はユニセフ太平洋島嶼国事務所の保健専門官ドクター・フランセス・ヴィリヴィリさんをリモートでお迎えして現地の様子を伺います。半年前のあの時、通信や交通手段が寸断されまして、コロナの影響もあってユニセフはじめ人道支援団体は支援を届けるのがとても難しかったと思います。ですので、まずあの時ユニセフがどう動いたのでしょう。それを伺ってまいりたいと思います。So 6 months ago, because of the communication cutoff and the limited means of transportation, combined with the COVID-19, I recall humanitarian agencies, including UNICEF, faced huge challenges. So first, let me ask you how UNICEF responded then and how you overcome those challenges.
Konnichiwa, everyone, and thank you, Hiro, for having me. Absolutely. Definitely, it was a big challenge for us as well as all the other partners in terms of responding to the volcanic eruption effects here in Tonga. Initially, when we were responding, it was really difficult for us to get information on the extent. It definitely hampered our ability to assess what was the humanitarian needs on the ground and the extent of the affected population needs. Particularly with the children and their families. However, UNICEF used existing data on population that allowed them to have some preliminary indications on what are the needs on the ground for the affected children and their families. And we quickly put together emergency preposition supplies and shipped them to Tonga from that were already in our Brisbane and Fiji warehouse.
やっぱり非常に大きなチャレンジだったと。特に被害が大きくてですね、でまたいろいろな手段が限られていたことによって、まずその被害のスケール、どれぐらいの被害が起きていたのか、特に子どもたちにどういった被害が起きていたのかということを確認するのが非常に難しかったということです。ただ、ユニセフの場合も長年この地でトンガで活動してますので、過去から持っていたいろんな情報、データというのがありました。それを使ってある程度の科学的な推測っていうんですかね、そういったものを立てて、どういった支援がどういったところに必要かということを予測して、以前からオーストラリア、ブリスベンですね、オーストラリアのブリスベンですとか、あとはフィジーに備蓄しておりました緊急支援用の物資というのがあるんですけれども、それをまずはその被災地に送ったということでございます。So, after 6 months, have the children's lives back normal? I mean, like before the disaster. あれから半年経ちましたけれども、子どもたちの生活はそれではすでに元に戻ったのでしょうか。今の現地の様子を伺ってみたいと思います。Okay.
Thanks, Hiro. I'd like to say yes to your answer, but unfortunately, as I'm here on the ground responding with a team from UNICEF and other partners supporting the government of Tonga, we are still seeing the vulnerabilities here on the ground. And this has been exacerbated by the existing vulnerabilities that were there pre-Hunga Tonga, Hunga Hapai volcano and the tsunami that happened in January this year. You know, Tonga was only just recovering from the effects of Cyclone Gita that happened. And then there's been damage to the agriculture, there's damage to the marine life, which is one of the main sources of food and nutrition for the people of Tonga. So that has been affected greatly. We still see families living in displaced homes today. They're still getting support from the government. We're still reaching out to these vulnerable children in terms of ensuring that they have access to basic health, nutrition, wash, education, protection services available. And these are the children that we're focusing on. Talking to children here in Tonga, there's still a lot of fear in them. The effects of the cyclone, of the tsunami, and the effects of the volcano is really still very present with them today. So it is real here in Tonga. There's still a lot of trauma. As we talk to the parents, we talk to the children, we can still feel and see in their eyes the fear that they have. And so in terms of nutrition as well, we're starting to see the effects of the whole country being dependent on processed foods and imported foods, because there was damage to their nutrition, to their food, and to their basic livelihoods.
Right.
We're ensuring here on the ground as UNICEF to reach out to them to ensure that there is continuity of access to basic health services, nutrition services, that they have proper and clean and safe drinking water, that they're protected, particularly that they have counseling, that they're able to overcome the fears that they are having to live with every day.
Okay, thank you. When was the cyclone Gita hit the
So
country?
cyclone happened a few years ago. This was a category
Right,
5
right,
cyclone, and they were just recovering from that.
right. Okay.
When now they have to deal with the effects of the volcano and the tsunami.
はい、Okay, thank you. 大噴火と津波の被害を受ける前から、トンガの人々、子どもたちはですね、数年前にカテゴリー、5というのは多分史上最大、級ぐらいだと思うんですけれども、サイクロンギタという巨大なサイクロンの被害を受けました。で、その被害からやっと立ち直りかけてきたかなという時に襲ったのが今回の大規模噴火であり津波であったと。ということで、やっと元に戻りかけてたところにまたこれが。ですので、現状を言うと、まだまだ、もともと住んでいた家から失った人たちが、避難所ですかね、シェルターのようなところで住んでいらっしゃる方々も、子どもたちもまだまだたくさんいらっしゃいますし、その政府からの、ユニセフも一緒に活動している、トンガ政府からのいろんな支援をなしでは、生活できないという人々もまたいらっしゃいます。例えばそれは保健の分野だったり、教育の分野だったり、あと水の分野だったりということ。あとは特に特徴的なのは非常に今回の大規模噴火というのが子どもたちに、子どもだけじゃないと思うんですが、特に子どもたちに大きな心的なストレスを与えてしまっていると。その時の今まで経験したこともないような状況によって、その時のトラウマをまだまだ引きずっている子どもたちもいて、保護者の方々もいて、農業のインフラが非常に大きな被害を受けてしまって、新鮮なものが食べられない、輸入品であったり、加工品であったりというものが中心になってしまって、そういった面でその子どもたちの栄養状況にも非常に深刻な影響というのがまだまだ引き続き続いていると。Okay, Francis. I understand that still you have that the people in Tonga or children in Tonga have a long way to go. But at the same time, for this disaster, Japanese government and for the people of Japan was very quick and generous to provide quite a huge amount of support. May I invite you any message to them? 最後に、今回の大きな支援をくださった日本の皆様、あと日本政府のメッセージをお願いしたいと思います。
Thank you, Hiro. From here in Tonga, I just want to thank the people of Japan and its government for their commitment and their support in helping out the people in the Pacific, not just Tonga, but in the Pacific in general. Here in Tonga, I can see the effects and the impact of your help has really put smiles on the faces of children here. Although we talk about how resilient the people of Tonga are, the children and their families, it just really helps to ensure that they are getting access to basic health services. They're getting access to basic education. They're getting access to supplies that will help them build back better and continue their livelihoods. They've lost a lot. And it's through this strong partnership between the government of Japan and UNICEF that has allowed the swift response on the ground. We have enabled health workers through this support in reaching out and continuing the community outreach to the vulnerable children and their families, in providing these basic services that are needed to them. And without this support, through government of Japan and UNICEF, we would not have been able to be here on the ground, providing services to these people and helping them build back better.
日本の皆様、日本政府の皆様にありがとう、本当に心からありがとうございますということです。トンガだけではなくて、太平洋諸国の、子どもたち、力強いご支援をいただいてまいりました。ユニセフと日本政府、日本の皆様とのパートナーシップが非常にポジティブなインパクトをこの現地の今、私がここにいるここで、対面している子どもたちの表情にもそれは伺えます。トンガの子どもたち、太平洋諸国の子どもたち、いろんな困難をこれまでも克服してきました。そういった困難に対するレジリエンス、そういった状況を克服していく力というのは、その子どもたちにもあります。ただ、その子どもたち、現地にいる方々だけでは、なかなかこのチャレンジを乗り越えるわけにはなかなか容易なことではなくて、そういったところで日本政府、日本の皆様との非常に力強いパートナーシップというのが、より良い状況、ビルドバックベターという言葉を彼女は何度も使ってましたけれども、その災害があった以前よりも良い状況に支援を通じて、していくお手伝いをするという、ユニセフの緊急支援の基本的な考え方の一つがあるんですけれども、そういった取り組みを力強く、サポート、支えてくださっています。引き続き、今後ともご支援をよろしくお願いしますということでございました。Okay, Francis, thank you very much again for your precious time.
Thank you so much, Hiro, for having me. And arigato gozaimasu. Sayonara.